Alright guys, today we are going to do carburetor on a homelite 26B blower. All the parts will be in the description below. Comes in a kit. Like here's the kit. I got two of these to do today. The guy brought in two of them. I'm only going to do one on a video. Fuel line, a little grabby thing to grab the fuel line out of the tank. Air filter, fuel filters, spark plug, gasket, primer bulb, carburetor, everything you need, everything you'll ever need to do this. This is a one-way duckbill valve. This goes under the primer bulb. So if you ever have to change out your primer bulb, you change that out too. See, it's only allows it to go one way. Oh, that's not even open. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Alright, let's get right to it. First thing we're going to do is pop off this air filter cover. This had no air filter in it. That's awesome. We have two, appear to be 8mm nuts. We're going to get them out. These are stiff. They feel like they've got some Loctite on them. Yeah, they had Loctite on them. That one doesn't. Oh, it does. It's just deeper in there than you can get to. Well, it barely had any Loctite on it. Doesn't matter. They don't need Loctite. It's overkill when they do that. Cut the fuel lines. Don't worry about where the fuel lines go. These ones are just crumbling off anyways. The ethanol just dry rots the heck out of these fuel lines. Pull the carburetor off. Notice the gasket came off with it. Pull the gas cap. We're going to pull it right on out. We're going to pull these right on out of here. Where's my needle nose? Hold on. This one on the right was a return line. Doesn't matter which side gets the return line or the fuel line. It's just that's the way it was. I'm going to reach in here, grab the fuel line from the inside. It just snapped right off. Just totally dry rotted out. The fuel filter's even clogged up with like a tar-like residue. Pull this off. There we go. Alright, we're going to use a little carb cleaner, brake cleaner to kind of rinse off the area where the fuel lines are going to go. You just don't want any dirt to go inside of it when we're putting the new stuff together. So just the area where you're putting the fuel lines. And then I'm going to spray inside the tank a little bit. And then we're going to drain this all out and just make sure there's no debris, no dirt, no water, no nothing inside the tank. We're going to go ahead, take this fuel line right here. We're going to cut it into a point. We're going to shove this point into the right hand side and try to push it down in. Just a little trick. You can grab it from the other side with needle nose and pull it through easier than you can push it in. And I only need this to go in like about an inch. This is your return line. I'm gonna just throw this up here so we get an idea how long the line has to be. And then we're gonna cut it off just a little bit long. We can cut it to the right length later. Then we're gonna do a point on this again. We're going to stick it in the left-hand hole. This time when we grab it, we are going to pull it all the way out of the gas tank. Now, another trick is if you can't grab it with your needle nose, just take the line and cut it longer, like cut half the line off longer down, make the point really long, and that'll give you room to grab it. It'll really stick down in there. we don't have to do that. I have these long bent needle nose, and they work really well. All right, so now we're gonna have it out about this far. We're gonna cut the tip off. We're gonna set a brand new fuel filter on it. Oop, this thing's hard to hold. Then we're going to just shove this right back down into the tank. Get it down on the bottom. Oh, this thing is a pain in the butt here, huh? It's so curled over. There's such curls, tight curls in there, it's bent up. So you got to make sure it's on the bottom of the tank. There we go. I just had to keep bringing it out until it laid on the bottom of the tank. Now this one's longer. This has got the filter line on it. We're going to run it to the carburetor and cut it to length later. We're going to put gasket on. It's going to be the one with a single hole right directly on one end. That needs to be on the side that this slot is, pointed this way basically. And the reason is when it's a vacuum line for the fuel pump. See that? When I turn it, it's going to be facing it. This is the vacuum for the fuel pump built into your carburetor. All right. This is suction. This is return, I think. Yeah. This one is the one that goes to your filter. This one goes to the return line without the filter. I'm going to slide this on. Put her on her side. Short line goes to the primer bulb closest to the nipple closest to the primer bulb. Cut a little bit off of her. And then the line with the filter goes to the nipple farthest from the primer bulb. Cut it to length. Oh, sorry. This is the return line closest to the primer bulb. This is the one with the filter furthest from the primer bulb. Just shoved on there nice. Leave a little bit of a curve on the lines. That way when they shrink, they won't pull off the nipples, because they will shrink. The ethanol and the gas will make these shrink. And we're going to go ahead, choke arm up. Slide this on there. This gasket actually goes on there first. Doesn't matter which way you put it on. Just like that. Like that. Two 8mm nuts. Go ahead and tighten them down. This didn't have a filter on it, and the filter they gave me with this kit isn't exactly the right one, but we're going to go ahead and just shove this right on inside of here, like so. Get it down in there nice and deep so it doesn't just pop out. And then we're going to hook it onto that, click it into place on the bottom. There we go. That'll filter it nicely. Now we're going to add some gas, and then we'll put the gas cap back on. And then we're going to prime it up. Now if it doesn't prime, if you look in here and you see foam coming out of the fuel filter, you've got the two lines backwards. Just flip them around. Alright, let's try a starter. Full throttle, full choke. Take the choke off. Oh, we might have another issue. We're going to go ahead, pull the spark plug. I just assumed it was the carburetor since the fuel lines and everything were shot out on it. Probably should have tested it first. That doesn't make a good video, does it? That's perfectly dry. Just needs to be adjusted, I believe. We're going to put the new spark plug in. This came with an adjustment screw, but first I'm going to do full choke, full throttle again, and I'm just going to keep pulling to see if I can get it to fire. Alright, so it's not firing. We're going to open this up. This is a Pac-Man adjustment screwdriver. There's only one adjustment screw on here. One full turn out is usually the starting point, but we already know it's too lean. So we're going to turn it till it drops in, and we're going to turn it a half a turn counterclockwise, and then try it again. Still nothing. Turn another half a turn. Still nothing. What the heck's going on here? That should have fired by now. Squirt a little something in here and see if she even tries to fire. No. She's got other issues. Alright, let's get the spark tester out. No spark. That's great. So this isn't gonna run no matter what I do to it. It needs a coil. Alright, they aren't always winners, guys, but you see how to put the carburetor on this one. I'm gonna pull this one back off a bit. Put it on the other one. That's funny. Yeah, if this helped you out in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'll put the carburetor kit in the description below. If you want to do any advertising through my channel, message me. Look guys, everybody isn't perfect. I know some of you are going to badmouth me. Just remember, trolling gets you muted and blocked. Peace!